Welcome back to TomPadulaTV and to the third segment of program 3 of Cosi, pare. We actually are only doing the interviews in this segment, so I enjoy them.
Good evening, how are you?
Well, thank you.
That's great. You're learning Italian as a second language?
Yes, at the Council of Adult Education.
How wonderful. How long have you been learning Italian?
About 3.5 years, I think.
What inspired you to pick Italian as a second language?
Well, my daughter started learning it and we had a sort of rivalry, and then so I thought I'd show her that I could learn it too. So.
That's wonderful. It's great to see. And how do you feel being in a theatre? Do you rely on the subtitles while you're listening to the...
But I'm trying to listen as well, so it's I'm quite surprised at how they can memorise the speeches of such length. And,
there's a lot of dialogue.
Yes, and it's quite complex, but it's very interesting.
E hai visto altre teatri di TomPadula?
Sì, ho visto la locandiera, sì, 2 anni fa.
E le è piaciuta la locandiera?
Sì, mi piace molto.
And how do you find learning Italian? Does the theatre aid you in learning Italian?
Yes, although perhaps we don't see enough of it, but I try to watch the Italian news on SBS, but that's a bit quick usually. And
Italian news is very difficult to follow. And do you read the Globo, the magazine, the newspaper?
Not very often, no. I'm not sure that my vocabulary is wide enough yet, but I'm working on it.
Good on you. Well, thank you for being a part of this production. Thank you. Italian as a second language. How long have you been studying?
4 or 5 years now.
That's fabulous.
Yes.
And come trovi la lingua? È difficile o facile?
Molto, molto difficile, sì. Sì. Credo, sì, è vero.
Perché?
Perché? Perché non mi ricordo le parole italiano. Quando voglio parlare non posso parlare.
Forse il vocabolario deve arricchire il suo vocabolario. You have to develop more words in your vocabulary.
That's exactly the problem. See.
But that will come with time and practice.
Yes.
Yes.
By little, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then sometimes I went to Italy and spent some time speaking only with Italian people for a couple of weeks, and that made a real difference. So
You have no choice but to learn the language.
exactly, there were a couple who knew English, but they didn't speak English to me. And the person who knew English best, I would occasionally look to her and ask for translations as to what somebody had just said. And after a while, I realised she wasn't translating into English; she was translating from dialect into standard Italian, and I was understanding what she was saying. So that really showed that I'd come forward.
Yes, well, dialect is actually harder than Italian, and as you can see, the play tonight is in Italian. Are you relying on the subtitles or on the Italian that you know?
I do a very quick read of the subtitles and then switch to watching what they're saying. So I just skim the subtitles.
And how are you following the story so far?
Quite well, I think. Yes.
Yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's a complex story because it is a suspense. It's a thriller. They call it a giallo.
And the summary of the play made it look like it was quite complicated, but actually watching them speaking and interacting with each other, the story makes a lot more sense than just reading the summary of the play. So,
Well, that's great. Well, keep up the Italian language and thank you so much. Bye-bye. So from which school are you from?
I'm from Trinity Grammar, and my sister goes to
Brighton.
Are you studying Italian at the moment?
No, we don't do Italian at my school, sadly. I have to do French.
So how are you finding the Italian play?
I reckon it's really good. I don't understand most of it. I have to glimpse at the I know
Subtitles.
the subtitles. I keep calling them subtitles.
Subtitles?
Subtitles every now and then, but yeah, it's good. It's really entertaining. The storyline is really good. Yeah.
And are you studying Italian?
No, we don't have it.
You don't have it?
No.
Would you like to in the future learn the language?
Yes.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yes.
Yes.
Watching the play, do you understand, you're reading the subtitles as you're watching?
Yeah, occasionally, yeah. If I don't understand what's being said, I glance over to the subtitles, yeah.
And other plays? Have you seen other Italian plays?
Yeah, a couple of Toms. I can't remember the names of them, but yeah, we've seen a couple of others as well, yeah.
2 others.
Did you see La Locandiere last year?
I think so. I think that was the one, yeah.
I'm not sure.
And you see yourself studying Italian later on in life?
Oh yeah, definitely. I asked my parents not too long ago if I could, in my gap year, if I could go and spend a year in Sicily or something like that.
Oh, you know that Luigi Pirandello was from Sicily?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yes.
You read the
He's
play.
The writer of the play?
Yeah.
Yes, very famous writer in Sicily.
Yeah. Yeah, from Sicily. Yeah.
And so you plan to travel later?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I hope you continue having this love affair with the Italian language, and I hope that you get to study it. French is very similar,
Yeah,
but
I
it's not the
noticed a lot
same.
of similarities in French. Yeah.
The French, French and Spanish are very similar to Italian.
Yeah. Yeah. I see a lot of similarities when I'm going through French, like porta and all that sort of stuff.
Well, enjoy the rest of the play, and I hope that the subtitles will help you in understanding the play. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Well, that's it for another program. Program 3 is finished. Act 1 is over, and so are the interviews during the interval. I'll see you next time. Don't forget TomPadulaTV.com for this play and many, many more. Ciao.